On July 21st, 2023, I was involved in an auto accident. It was a minor accident, but this is my story. I would like to share it with you to see if you feel as though the officers were giving me fair treatment. So what you're watching right now is actual dash cam footage of an officer who responded to the crash scene. I want you to take note at how he's driving. He's going to cut in way too close to the front end of the semi truck. And that makes it an unsafe situation for the truck driver because there is no safe, assured traveling distance until there's more space between the vehicles. The next thing I want you to take a look at is the U-turn that this officer is about to make. And here's the U-turn. Pay close attention to this Jeep that's going to pass by right now. I don't know, but to me it didn't look like that was very safe either. And if you actually pay close attention to the position of that Jeep had to swerve right. Maybe they were
I'll be 35014 with Ohio 498 Zebra Mary Lincoln. Okay.
T31 Canterwood 3 right. Eastbound's back, westbound traffic's backed up to the Trumbull County line.
Okay, so the accident actually happened. The officer is driving in the hazard lane,
ramp to 11 south.
but just to the right is the actual lane that the traffic should be driving in.
EMS and fire on scene. So go to the left of him. Slow. Just take it slow.
So right here is approximately the point of impact. Now I want you to keep in mind this man told the police officer that he was almost stopped, but then his police report says he was stopped and sitting there for 45 seconds.
Oh, 11 at the 23, go ahead.
But hold on, ask him a good question because he said they were almost stopped in this left lane to go 11 south. He said maybe he was going 5. He was trying to get back over, and then this guy hit him. So just ask, some pretty good questions on both of them, kind of figure out what happened.
Okay.
So I asked that guy, I said, how long were you stopped in the roadway? 45 seconds. Right, you can't just stop in the roadway because you missed your exit.
Yeah.
So my opinion is they're both at fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went up and asked him, like, well, why didn't you just keep going? Well, he's like, I don't know where I am. I'm like, well, you don't have a GPS? And he said, I think no.
Where were you guys headed to?
Talmadge?
I was attempting to merge over onto the middle.
I don't know why she put right, but it's middle lane.
To the middle lane.
Lane right beside us.
Came to a complete stop waiting for someone to let us over. About
45 seconds.
45 seconds later, we were rear-ended by a truck. So which lane were you in?
This lane technically, but I was up there with the liners trying to get over.
You're trying to get over here, so you didn't get off at this. You didn't want to get off here, and you were trying to get over.
Yeah.
Okay.
My GPS went screwy and.
This man just told the police officer that his GPS went screwy. That tells me he was confused.
Everybody in the car wearing their belts?
Yep.
Were you looking at anything at the time of the crash? Phone, car,
Just
radio?
the mirror trying to
Just the mirrors?
get over.
And you said you were stopped at the crash?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were back on 80. You didn't want to be on this exit, so you tried to merge over.
Tried to merge over this way.
Okay, so were you in between the lanes?
No, I was in the lane. Like, I was still in this lane, sitting there trying to.
With your with your blinker on and everything?
Yeah, get somebody to let me over.
And somebody just the trucker just rear-ended you?
As I was trying, I was actually. Yeah, I guess he must have been trying to go that way.
Right, because he has to land at you. Okay, so you were trying to get over,
Yeah.
and he just.
Must not have been paying attention to the last minute.
But hold on, ask some good questions because he said they were almost stopped in this left lane to go 11 south. He said maybe he was going 5. He was trying to get back over, and then this guy hit him. So just ask, some pretty good questions on both of them, kind of figure out what happened.
Okay.
Tuesday at 9 a.m.
And so when you were trying to merge, did you have your signal on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody from the right was letting you over, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So did you ever leave your lane? So he just smacked you and you guys pulled off over here?
Yep.
Where did the impact happen? Further
Down.
further east?
Further down that way.
So how did you guys end up over here?
Well, I was actually right up here, right before the sign, but I was still partially on the road, so I pulled the car up.
Yeah, we
Off
pulled
the
up so
road.
we weren't sitting in the road.
Okay, so you were able to make it over to this lane
Yeah.
after you got hit?
Yeah. Actually, I didn't get into that lane. I came right up
So
where where the hashed lines are.
yeah.
I just actually came right up through there onto here.
So you got hit in this lane.
Yeah. Well, no, I got hit in that lane, but I just pulled forward after he hit me.
Okay, so you just pulled forward and up right here. Okay.
We got hit back.
You know where the truck's parked at?
Yeah,
I
the
pulled
fire
straight
truck.
up where the fire truck's.
And you were in this lane?
No, we were
This
over
lane.
in that
When he
lane.
hit me, I just came over.
And when he hit us, we went that way into this lane.
So somebody finally let you over after
Well,
that?
They have a choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did the sketch just so we can get this open.
Do you by any sort of chance think he might be .19? His eyes are shot and glassy. Not at all? Okay.
All right, just so you know, you are going to have to get towed out. That tire's touching the bumpers. It's down.
I'm gonna come over here so I can hear you better. Alright, were you distracted at the time of your crash?
No, sir.
Were you looking at anything? No.
I didn't
Okay.
know.
So you were in the left lane here.
I was in the left lane, yeah.
They said they were in the left lane as well. They were trying to merge over.
So I came from Brookfield going 11 south, so I continued on 11 and just going south. So I was already in the left lane.
Oh my god. I did not miss this. So he has two insurances, but he said to use this one.
What about for the PA thing? Do you have theirs?
I do.
Give me his that he said he used.
This is, well, the one that he has is through Great American Insurance, and I have the policy number.
Alright, Colombus telling me.
Taking them out.
So I asked that guy, I said, how long were you stopped in the roadway? 45 seconds. Right, you can't just stop in the roadway because you missed your exit.
Yeah.
So my opinion is they're both at fault.
Yeah.
He's at fault for impeding 45, 11, 22, and he's ACD. I mean, he should see this guy stop or see his brake lights. He said he had maybe just let off and started rolling when he got hit. I mean, so.
I actually asked him that, I think.
Who?
That guy from his official statement.
Which guy?
Him.
Passenger car?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, how fast were you going at impact? Stopped.
Right.
So he was stopped
you
trying
can't
to...
just stop in the interstate for no reason whatsoever just because you miss your exit.
And this guy said that they were moving at impact, and there was a car in between them that jumped over trying to do what they did, and he didn't see him at last second. But I was like, then how were they moving?
A car came from the right?
No.
Another car came from the left over.
They were all in this lane. There was
Right.
truck, car, them. These guys were supposedly, according to this guy, moving, and then this car jumped out, and this truck didn't see him and slammed into the brake. But that doesn't make sense, because if you were he was trying to merge. He wasn't moving.
Either way, he said he was stopped.
Yeah, either
Or
way. Then.
almost stopped. And it says, the section says, no person shall operate a vehicle at such an unreasonably slow speed as to block in, right? So it's like if you missed your exit, you don't just stop. There's 18 wheelers out here like this guy, 8,000 pounds. You go down and you figure it out. You flip around. So I say they're both, and we can cite them both and get them out of here. Let me do this just because we've got so much going on. You go there and make sure that car has brake lights and tail lights, that they're able to drive, and I'll punch away at this.
Then I'm assuming you got pictures.
I got pictures.
Good Lord.
Does he have tail lights?
Yep, turn signals work, brake lights work. I just checked the headlights just to be sure.
So that makes sense. Like, he didn't necessarily take away this guy. So that's why he's getting cited as well, the semi, because he didn't take away his insured in a clear distance. But stopping in the road is improper, and slowing down to 5-10 miles an hour is improper. But he still has to be. He said something to me because I asked the truck driver. I was like, he said something about looking down, and I looked back up, and next thing you know, is they're braking hard. I'm like, well, you got to be able, to be able to stop. Like, what if there was a crash here and these people were all slowing abruptly? So he's
sign it, put any information on there.
Go back and have him do it. And ask him about that. Ask him. You asked him about distractions, but so because he's like they slammed on the brakes abruptly. Ask him. Say these folks said they were stopped for like 30, 45 seconds. Like, did you not see them? Like, at what point did you see them that they were moving slow? And like, were you looking down at something or anything like that? Just ask him. It's not gonna.
I need you to sign, put your address, date of birth, and phone number. So you said that they were kind of slowly moving, trying to get over.
No, they slammed on the
brakes. So they slammed on the brakes.
Yes, sir.
And they were trying to get over. At what point did you see that? Like, what was the first time you saw that car?
It was only probably 50 yards before where the split starts. As a matter of fact, where they wanted to jump over at, they would have jumped that solid line. So they was already into 11 here. Yeah, I mean, I saw him hit the brakes, and then 2 or 3 seconds later, we collided because they're slowing down so fast.
How far away were you from that?
From them, when I first saw them, I was probably about maybe 60 yards. And then so So it wasn't a just a quick hit the brakes. It was laying on the brakes and slowing down more. So
And that was after the car that was in between you guys moved over?
yeah, so I think
Okay.
what I'm getting is that that car was slowing down, and the other car wanted to move faster, so they jumped and they made a quick move too. That other car, I don't know, I don't remember if it was an SUV or a car, but it was a maroon color, a red color.
So, he said he was about 60 yards away when he first saw the car.
Okay.
But he said the reason he wasn't able to slow down was because there was the other car in between him that jumped up and around.
Okay, well, it was closer, so you should have been slowing down.
That's what I thought too. But I mean, he also said that he hit them going like 50, and I feel like there'd be a lot more damage to that car if you hit that with that semi.
I think he was on his brake.
I think so. Well, obviously he was.
Definitely.
He said he tried to move over too.
Yeah, so he's moving and braking, and that probably saved him a lot more injury and damage that he was. But why he didn't slow down more, that's sometimes though, when these drivers, they got somewhere to go, they got, it's like, well, I don't want to slow down because I got to make time or whatever. I don't want to have to re-gear, back up.
These officers never took in consideration the fact that this car could have and did cut over in front of me and was actually the reason or the cause of the accident. So I wasn't satisfied with the investigation, and then I requested to speak with the captain.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
How can I help you?
I'm Alvin. I'm here to see Captain Green.
Okay, we'll go ahead and buzz you in.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning. Yes, sir.
Hey, Captain Green, nice
Nice
to meet you.
Same
Welcome,
here.
come on in.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're
Good morning,
welcome.
sir.
Lieutenant
Alvin Walker.
Brown.
I believe you and Lieutenant Brown spoke the other day,
Oh, okay.
correct?
Okay. Sit here.
Have a seat wherever you feel comfortable.
Okay. Whoa, that's like a.
There you go.
All right. I want to thank you again for for meeting with me
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
and hearing my story.
So what's on your mind, friend?
Well, I feel like there were some things that were left out that would have exonerated me.
Now we're speaking about the crash on
Yes, sir.
Interstate 80 at the 11 merger south.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I have. Okay, so if you took a look at the report, this is in the report here. I think I drew a bigger diagram. Here, this is a bigger diagram. It's just extends this a little bit.
So now, so this is a handwritten depiction.
This is, yes.
Okay.
It's because I wanted to extend this here,
Okay.
just so you get a whole. Okay, so the accident, let me turn this one around. So this is about where it was documented for the accident. It actually happened back. Okay, so you have from this point to here, the tip of these chevrons is about approximately 400 feet.
Okay.
Okay, so the accident happened, the collision impact actually kind of in the middle. So it's not exactly up to the chevrons, it's back here. The vehicle was stopped approximately here.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is based on what?
This is where the impact, the point of impact. What else can I tell you? So, if you take a look at Mr. Garlick's statement, Okay, here it is. Mr. Garlick's in his statement. Mr. Garlick's in his statement, it says, I was attempting to merge over into the right, that he crossed it out and said the middle lane. I came to a complete stop, waiting for someone to let me over. He claims he was sitting there for about 45 seconds, and later he was rear-ended. Okay, so it actually boils down to Mr. Garlick could have been cited with like 20 points.
20 points?
Yes, sir. And I'm not an attorney. I'm gonna point out some of the things that he could have been cited for.
Okay, go ahead.
And let me find the right page here. This is all my mind. That's all right. So one, I gotta find it. I'm gonna try and talk while I'm still looking here. But one was stopping on a freeway. It's prohibited.
Okay.
Okay. And then Mr. Garlick stops again. He stops about right here, attempting to get in the middle. There's no middle lane here. This lane is designated for merging south only. He wants to stop from the south only and merge west. There is no merge. You only merge south. And again, Mr. Garlick wasn't cited for that. Now, if he had 45 seconds to sit there, why couldn't he have safely parked here instead of on the road? And the reason that I understand that we have laws against parking on the freeway is because it causes accidents.
Okay.
Failure to obey traffic signal or in the road markings. He wants to go against what every reasonable person on the road would think or do. Not to mention, Mr. Garlick had a toddler in the back seat. I mean, what are the intentions there? He could have been hoping something would happen where somebody else would be responsible for the kid. Could have been. I'm not saying that he was, but my point is that he's driving reckless with a minor. That could have been child endangerment. If I would have plowed into that truck and crushed everybody in that vehicle, I'd be looking at attempted murder. And like I said, the guy was breaking the law 10 different ways. How is that? If you take me out of the equation, if I had not come to work that day, then you still have Mr. Garlick stopping on the freeway, attempting to drive on the shoulder, and impeding traffic is what he was cited for. Then he's still out there breaking the law.
Traffic crash.
Okay.
So that's why we responded to the scene.
Okay.
Mr. Garlick was cited for 451122. Have you read?
That was impeding traffic is what he was cited for.
Right. So I think that is appropriate. We get there after the fact. Part of our investigation is that we talk to you, we talk to the other party if there's any independent witnesses. We can't play God and say, "Hey, we know what happened here."
Oh, right.
That's why we do the investigations that we do. As far as your diagram that you drew here, sometimes it's tough. There is a skid mark that was documented
On both sides, actually.
Right.
On both sides of this line, there were mine over here and another vehicle's over here.
Right. So the other vehicle, is that from Mr. Garlick, or
No,
is that
sir, it
from
was
just
somebody
a
else.
random prior to?
When he wants to go over, the cars must have saw him kind of peek out a little bit, and they stop. They take off. Cars to my left, they all take off. They're gone. Now there's people. I'm in a loaded semi-truck, and he's keeping me from taking off. I got to wait for him. And loaded trucks take off pretty slow. So then there's cars over here. The lane clears. There's cars from way back. They come up. They're passing us. Cars behind me, they're coming around me, passing. Now everything's clear. I get in the left, and I go to get up to speed. Mr. Garlic, that's just when I noticed this vehicle. Mr. Garlic sees me going past him, so he steps on. I'm passing him. He's back by my trailer. Now he steps on it. He's gonna squeeze in between me and the car ahead of him. And when he ran out of room, he slams on the brakes, backed off. Okay, so I'm going, I get up about 5 cars. It's open, I get in. I wanna merge. It's now it's about a quarter mile before the 80 merge. Okay, there goes Mr. Garland. He got in the left lane, fast as he can. He beats it down the road, first dangerous move, jumps in, and now he's gonna merge around 80. That turn is 65 miles per hour to merge onto 80 from 82. And Mr. Garlic was probably—
82 or 11?
From 82 to 80.
Okay.
Okay, that turn is about 65 miles per hour. Mr. Garlic was going about 15 miles per hour under the speed limit. And because I'm like, he's up there, he's showing his brakes. Now everything is getting plugged up. There's cars lined all the way up because he's dragging along. We get to where the cars merge. There's cars from behind me that are jumping this white line because they're aggravated. They want to get around. Cars coming. And then Garlic merges. I've safely merged behind him. Look to see traffic's clear. I get in the left lane. I pass him. So at this point, I'm in the middle lane. Okay. Again, Garlic steps on it, goes up, way too close for it to be safe. He cuts in front of me. Now he's letting off the throttle. The car's slowing. So immediately I look. Okay, the lane's clear. Immediately I get over. I didn't waste 10 seconds sitting behind him again. Immediately I got over. So that lane I was in that lane about maybe 1 mile before it said, the designated lane is 3/4 of a mile ahead. So before the point of impact, I held that lane for at least 3 miles. Okay. Garlic's going, and he's slowly in my right-hand lane. He's slowly pulling up, slowly. And then he gets up to where the solid white line starts. He's slowly coming. Then he jumps over in this lane.
Into your lane now.
Into my lane now. Within 200 feet. Like I said, I measured, and it's approximately 400 feet for the solid line. Inside of 300 feet, somewhere around 200 feet, he's attempting to come to a complete stop. When he cut in, he's about 60 yards ahead of me. No way physically possible to stop that truck like that when it's loaded, especially when it's loaded. The first one was a tan-colored minivan that first cut me off to back me off. The second, Mr. Garlic had cut in, but he's probably 60 yards ahead of me, still too close. And the third vehicle was a burgundy-colored pickup truck going faster than everybody else on the planet. And when he cuts in, immediately as he starts to cut in, Garlic hits the brakes. So he's coming in on a hard brake, okay? And then he just, boom, he goes back out. Him and Garlic would have collided. I thought that's what happened. This pickup truck jumps back out the way, and Garlic applies the brakes harder. So possible, I'm not pretending to be an officer. I'm not an attorney, but from my research, there's like 10 different, for example, assured clear distance. He could have been cited with that.
Hold on 1 second. Let me stop you there.
Okay.
What he was cited with was 4511.22. So I'm going to read this to you.
4511.
.22.
Yeah, impeding traffic. Yeah.
That's what.
Slow speed to impede or block.
Yes, sir.
No person shall stop or operate a vehicle, trackless trolley, or streetcar at such an unreasonably slow speed as to impede or block the normal and reasonable movement of traffic, except when stopping or reduced speed is necessary for safe operation or to comply with law.
An office. Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And is that what he was cited with?
Okay, yes, sir. And that, in my opinion, that could have also went towards parking or stopping on the freeway.
Calculation, just so we're, I don't know if you're kind of confused on this.
I am.
We don't throw the book at people. So let's say that you're out driving and you're speeding and you forgot to use your turn signal and you drifted over the line. Okay, there's 3 violations there that you committed. So let's say that I stop you. Our policy is specific. We're not going to pile up tickets because that is not accomplishing our mission. Our mission is to, change your driving behaviors and say, Mr. Walker, you did this, this, and this, and we should only cite you with 1 violation. Unless it would be a seatbelt. But as far as a moving violation, it's 1 moving violation. That's our policy. So where you started this conversation off saying that he could be facing 20 points on his license. I don't know if you're adding up, okay, this was 2, this one's 2.
Right.
We don't do that.
Right.
And I think that would be pretty crappy to operate like that, because typically in Ohio, 12 points, you're suspended.
Right.
You commit 1 infraction based on the way you're looking at it, you can get suspended on one error in judgment. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we don't go that route. And I do believe here that he was cited with the appropriate offense. If I was on scene there, that's what Mr. Garlick would have been cited with, was the 4511.22.
Okay.
And additionally on that, also the human factor. Imagine how much additional money that would cost if someone was to go ahead and pay those fines. Say $150 per violation. You're looking at extreme, and then there's the insurance factor that goes in there. So while being human and trying to understand the situation, there's also responsibility. So a violation would be warranted, like Lieutenant Brown said, maybe if they're not having a safety belt, because those are crash-causing behaviors or actions that cause fatalities, and we want roadway safety. So to throw the book at, per se, someone because every single violation, that's not how we operate, that's not how we condone operations.